Hey guys, it's Sarah, and this is going to be my April book haul, and it's really big because I just got a lot of books from multiple places. I have some ARCs that I want to show you. I have a couple of gifts from people. I have Goodwill books. I have thrift shop books, and it's a lot, so let's go. All right, I will show you the ARCs that I have received from publishers first. I have been very fortunate to be getting a lot of these lately, so I am incredibly grateful to all of them. The first one is Tin Man by Sarah Winman, and this one was sent to me by Putnam, and this one I was super excited when I was contacted about it because this is on my birthday reading list, and it is coming out in the US on, let's see, May 15th. And look how cute it is though. It's so tiny. I didn't realize it was a tiny book, and look how adorable. It's so cute. And I don't know, I got it and I just loved it. I was like, I don't care what it's about. It's so sweet. And yeah, so I don't really know what this is about, but it is something that was recommended to me by one of my subscribers. So it's going to be read by me here very soon. So I was very fortunate to be contacted about actually reviewing it. So I ended up getting it. This next one was sent to me by Source Books, and this one is actually from the website Bookish First, which is a review site where you can go and you can get a sneak peek of upcoming books that are available. You read the sample that they send you, and then you write a review on it. And if you want to be entered to win a early copy of it, then you can be entered into a raffle. And I've done a few of them. I've read a few early examples, and they're just like the first few chapters or something. And I've written reviews and then entered into the raffle. I've gotten 2 so far. This is my second one, and I am really excited about this one. This is the one that I was just like, if I get any of them, that's the one that I want, and I ended up getting it. So I was so excited. And that is Furyborn, and this is by Claire Legrand. This comes out on May 22nd. This is an epic fantasy. I want to say it's a young adult. I'm pretty sure. And this one follows 2 queens, and I think they kind of hold the fate of the world in their hands, and they can kind of make the decisions on which way it's going to go. And I think there's going to be a lot of political stuff and a lot of, back and forth. And I believe this is the first book in a series that's going to be happening. And yeah, so excited. I can't wait to read this. This next one was sent to me by William Morrow, and they had sent me previously All the Beautiful Lies by Peter Swanson, which I recently reviewed. And when I emailed her back and said, here's my review, I really loved it, thank you so much, she sent me a response right back and said, great, have you gotten these books yet? And I said, no, I have not. And she said, I'll get them in the mail to you. I was like, sweet. So, and these are 2 books that I've heard of. So I was just like so thankful that she was willing to do that. So the first one is The Book of M, and this is by Pang Shepard, and this comes out in June. And this one is oh gosh, let me try to think how to describe this book. This follows a society. I think it's a little bit of a post-apocalyptic thing, but something happens inside people's brains and they start losing their memories, and they're trying to see how they can fix that, because you start losing your memories and you're trying to survive. Like, how can you do that? So I'm very excited for this one. And again, this one, it comes out in June. And the other one that she sent my way is All These Beautiful Strangers by Elizabeth Klefoff. Oh, that's a really hard last name to say. This one comes out in July, and this is supposed to be a thriller story, and I don't want to, I'm not even reading the synopsis of it. I just want to go into it blind, see what's going on, and I've seen this one going around, so I was excited to get my hands on it as well, and you guys know I love a good thriller. And this last ARC, you guys, okay, I reached out to the publishers on this one because I loved the first book so much. It was one of my favorite books of last year, and the sequel is coming out in May, and I was just so excited, and I thought I would take a chance on maybe getting an ARC because I started seeing them float around, and I sent an email and ended up getting a response, and she said, you'll see a copy very soon. And I ran around my house screaming because I was so excited. This is one of my most anticipated books of the entire year. Oh, I got a copy of Legendary by Stephanie Garber. Now, this is a very interesting ARC because this is not the cover. The cover is actually this right here. That's going to be the final cover of it. But the front of it here has like this little invitation and all that. And oh, and it says the wait is over. And I'm so excited for this, you guys. Oh, this is a sequel to Caraval. And it's right here. And I loved Caraval so much. It is a fantasy young adult book that follows two sisters who end up going to this magical kind of an interactive show that happens, and they end up being more a part of it than they thought, and they find themselves trying to figure out a mystery that's happening that's surrounding them personally. They're basically trying to survive in this world, but everybody thinks it's just a show and it's just entertainment, and you don't know what's real and what's not. And you see these sisters go through a lot of issues as far as, you know, is what I'm seeing actually happening, because they don't know. There's so much magic going on around them. It was so good. I loved it so much, and I'm so excited for the sequel here. And I really, really, truly want to drop everything I'm reading right now and just read this. That's probably what I'm gonna do. So a huge, huge, huge thank you to all the publishers who were willing to send me stuff. I can't say thank you enough. All right, there's a couple books here that I got from some friends who were very generous. I got an email from one of my subscribers, Megan, and she said, I have a copy of this book and I know it's on your list. Would you like a copy of it? I'm gonna be getting rid of some stuff and I just have this for you. You know, if you're willing to take it, I will send it to you. And I was like, yes, I will. That's not even a question. So Megan, thank you so much. She sent me A Dirty Job by Christopher Moore, and this is on my birthday reading list. She's actually the one who suggested this book to me. And I'm really excited to read this because I love Christopher Moore as an author, but I haven't read one of his books in a very, very long time. So he's definitely an author I want to get back to and read some more from. And hopefully I will enjoy it as much as I did when I was first reading his stuff, and this is one I haven't read yet. So thank you, Megan, so much. This next one is actually a Christian book, and it was a gift from my BFF Danielle. Thank you. She got me The Circle Maker by Mark Batterson, and this is one that has been suggested to me in the past as well, so it's always kind of been on my radar. I just never picked up a copy, and she had picked this up and was reading it and was really enjoying it, and she ended up picking up a copy for me because she found another one and thought I would enjoy it too. So thank you, Danielle. I love you. This next one is also a Christian book. It's a nonfiction, and that is Boundaries. And this is by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. And this is literally about setting boundaries for yourself and how to do that with grace, and, you know, how to make sure you're not getting taken advantage of, or, you know, stretch yourself to your limits, which I tend to do a lot. So I thought this could be insightful, and I've had quite a few people tell me that they've read this book and it really helped them a lot. So I went ahead and picked up a copy myself. All right, now on to books I got at Walmart, because I don't know why I buy books at Walmart. They're so expensive. They're not crazy expensive. They're not like Barnes & Noble expensive, but they're more than Amazon. So I don't know why I buy them. I think I just get in that mood and I'm just like, I'm here, I'm just gonna get them, whatever. So I got 3 books at Walmart in one go. And it doesn't help that these are really tall floppy paperbacks, which are my love language. All right, this first one is If I Die Tonight by Allison Galen. I haven't heard of this, but I liked the cover. I thought it was interesting. And the tagline here says, by the time you read this, I'll be dead. So I kind of want to know why. I want to know what happened. So I'm guessing this is going to be a thriller. And yep, again, tall floppy paperback. I love it. This next one I picked up because it's a tall floppy paperback, and it actually gives me some vibes of a book I just finished, which is Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. And for some reason I was just coming off that and I saw this and I immediately just wanted to pick it up. And that is The Home for Unwanted Girls by Joanna Goodman. And I don't know what this is about. I'm assuming it's a bunch of girls probably in some sort of an orphanage type of situation, and there's reasons people don't want them, and they're probably trying to fix those things or figure things out. And yeah, so I got it. And this last one that I got at Walmart is absolutely beautiful, and that is Before I Let You Go by Kelly Rimmer. I actually have a book by Kelly Rimmer on my birthday reading list. It's not this one, it's another one, but I recognize the author for sure. And again, this book is just absolutely gorgeous. I believe this deals with addiction in some sort of way, but that's all I really know. So yeah, it's beautiful, it's big, it's floppy, and I couldn't resist. This next set of books are books that I got at the thrift store at our military base that we're stationed here at. And they have a thrift store. They have a pretty good selection of books. I'm usually pretty impressed when I go in there, but I can't go in too often because otherwise I'm just looking at the same stuff. So I kind of give myself a little bit of time in between my visits, but I went last week and I ended up finding 5 books. All right, this first one, it was more of a cover buy, and I like the look and the feel of it, and then it has good ratings, so I was like, all right. But that is The Princes of Ireland, and I think this is book 1 in the Dublin saga from what I'm seeing, and this is by Edward Rutherford. And this is a historical fiction following a number of years or maybe even decades in some of Ireland's history. And it's not a nonfiction, it's a historical fiction. But I think it kind of goes very, very closely to actual history of Ireland. So I don't know. I just kind of was like, that's really cool. And it was 25 cents. So yeah, but I'm willing to give it a try. And this next one is an author that I'm kind of starting to collect a little bit of her stuff, but I haven't read any of it yet. So I'm trying not to go too crazy, but I do have quite a few things by her. And that is Philippa Gregory. And I found a really good copy of The Other Boleyn Girl. And this one follows Anne Boleyn and Henry VIII, which is one of my favorite stories. I love the Tudors timeline and all that, which is why I want to get into Philippa Gregory, because I'm hearing, if you like things like that, she's a really good author to read from. And I just need to start that series of hers. That's the Tudor series. And I have the first one, but I haven't read it yet. But I went ahead and picked this up because it was 25 cents and it was a really good copy. This next one is actually one that I could read with my daughter Kaylin because it is a middle grade book, and that is The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. This was a cover buy. Look at that. It's so cute. It's adorable, and it has really, really high ratings, and I believe it's something about not necessarily like a magic school, but some sort of magic club where these kids are trying to vie for like certain positions and stuff. And yeah, it has really, really good ratings on Goodreads. A lot of people have rated it really highly. So I thought it was adorable. This next one is a book I've never heard of, but I really liked the look of it and the cover of it, and it looks like it's going to be some sort of thriller, probably some sort of suspense book. It's called Let Me In, and this is by John Avid Lindquist. Lindvist? Ooh. He sounds not American. I'm not sure exactly where he's from. Oh, and there is a movie. Awesome. In 2010, there was a movie. Okay, good to know. I've never heard of this. But when I was checking out, the girl who was ringing up all the books said that she had read this and she really, really liked it. So it's like, oh, okay, good. But yeah, so we'll give it a try. And the last one is a book that I had seen going around on BookTube a while ago, and it sounded interesting. And that is, it's kind of a funny story by Ned Vizzini. And I believe this deals with a man who ends up going into a mental institution and the people that he meets there. So it's kind of like a whole thing. And yeah, so I figured I'd give it a try. All right, we're moving on to Goodwill. I have a good stack that I've gotten at Goodwill this month over 2 different trips. All right, so now these, I really need to start reading this series because I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but I have the entire thing now. I found books 3 and 4 in the Neapolitan series. Number 3 is Those Who Leave and Those Who Stay, and number 4 is The Story of the Lost Child, both by Elena Ferrante. I have books 1 and 2. Now I have 3 and 4. There's 4 books in the series, and I don't know why I just binge bought these, and I guess I'm hoping I'm gonna like them. I really hope that I do. I've heard amazing things about them, but I just don't know if I'm gonna like them or not. So I need to really give the first one a read sometime this year so I can see what I think. But these are supposed to have extremely strong female friendships, and I'm like, okay, I'm all about that. I would like to read something with really strong female friendship. So yeah, I have the whole series now. I hope I like it. This next one is another Christian nonfiction that I found at Goodwill, and that is Spirit Hunger by Gary Meacham. And this tagline here is filling our deep longing to connect with God. And yeah, I have never heard of Gary Meacham, so I'm interested to see what she has to say about everything. And yeah, it's pretty short. So, for $1.50, I'm going to give it a try. This next one I was extremely excited to see because this is another one that's on my birthday reading list, and that is Snowflower and the Secret Fan. This is by Lisa See, and I love this cover, you guys. It is so beautiful. And yeah, this is on my birthday reading list, so I found a great copy. I snagged it because I'm not able to get this at my libraries at all, so I was gonna have to buy a copy when it was time, and now I can. So, and this is pretty short. I was surprised at how short it was. This next one is one that has gained a lot of popularity lately because a TV show is currently on, or I'm not sure if the season is done or not, but recently had started, and that is The Alienist, and this is by Caleb Carr. So this is the TV show tie-in. It's got Dakota Fanning and Luke Evans is on here. Yeah, so this is kind of like the beginnings of psychology, I think. It's set in the late 1800s, and it's kind of this team that is kind of breaking new ground and talking about criminology and behavior and kind of putting that all together. So I've heard good things about the show, but you know, I saw this at Goodwill, so I went ahead and picked it up. Next one is an author that I am definitely interested in after hearing some amazing things about her. And this is the second book I picked up from her so far, and that is The Weight of Silence. And this is by Heather Gudenkauf. Don't know what it's about. It's probably going to be a thriller, and I've just heard really good things about Heather as an author. I haven't read anything by her yet, but now I have too, so I really need to get on that. This next one is one that I've heard little murmurings of, but I've never heard anybody like actually reading it and talking about it, but I've heard people like hauling it and everything. But that is The Crimson Petal and the White by Michael Faber. Now this has been turned into a series as well, a television series, and this one follows a young girl in Victorian London, I believe, and she starts out as a prostitute, but she ends up working her way up in society, and you kind of see her work her way up and how things happen, and I'm sure there's tons of politics and all that. So yeah, I went ahead and picked it up. Why not? All right, this next one, guys. This is going to be interesting. I've never heard of this book before. It gets really good ratings on Goodreads, and so I picked it up, but I literally just read about the author, and I'm going to have to read it to you in a second. But this is Shantaram, and this is by Gregory David Roberts. No idea what this is about, but listen to the author. Okay. He was born in Melbourne, Australia, sentenced to 19 years in prison for a series of armed robberies. He escaped and spent 10 of his fugitive years in Bombay, where he established a free medical clinic for slum dwellers. Okay. And worked as a counterfeiter, smuggler, gun runner, and street soldier for a branch of the Bombay Mafia. Okay. Recaptured, because that's what happens. He served out his sentence and established a successful multimedia company upon his release. He's now a full-time writer and lives in Bombay. All right. Well, that's a colorful life. And you're just going to put it on the back of your book. No problem. Oh my goodness. All right. I have no idea what this is about, but I'm sure based on his, experiences, I'm sure a lot of that's going to be in here. So why not? All right. Last book, you guys. This one was a straight up cover slash, I love the size of this book and I can't pass it up. Buy. I'm not kidding you. I hope it's good. It's a Pulitzer Prize winning author, so hopefully it will be. Look at this book, you guys. It is gorgeous. It's huge. This is an ARC. This is an ARC that came out in 2016. It's huge. It's thick. It's so floppy. I can't with this. This is Bark Skins by Annie Proulx. Ooh, I don't know how to say her name. She has won the Pulitzer Prize, and she is actually the author of Brokeback Mountain, which I have not read, but I did see that movie. Yeah, I literally picked this up and just held it, and I was like, I have to have this. I don't know what it's about. I hope it's good. Upon reading more about it, I did look it up before I bought it. I didn't just like, you know, but that's the reason I picked it up, because of how it looks. But this book gets a high rating on Goodreads, and it actually is something that spans generations of two different families. And I think the origins of them kind of start off like woodsy type of situations, and then you kind of see their families grow throughout the generations. We'll see. It's gorgeous. I couldn't pass it up. I just want to like frame it and put it on my wall. I have no idea what it's about. I don't care. It's fine. So yeah, total cover buy. Total, but I can't take it. It's so beautiful. All right, guys, that is it. That's 26 books for the month of April. Okay, totally fine. I can handle this. It's kind of a lot, I know. But May is going to be hopefully smaller. I'm probably only going to be doing like one more thrift shop and Goodwill run before our movers come to pack us up and move us to Florida. So I'm not planning to be doing a lot of book shopping in the month of May, which is good. I'll have a small one, I'm sure, but I do kind of like just want to do one last Goodwill and thrift shop run before we leave. And yep, that's going to be it. But I actually need to go through my books and do an unhaul as well, which I think I'm going to have one of those coming up here in May, probably. Okay, so let me know if you guys have read any of these books. Let me know what I should read sooner rather than later, all that good stuff. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.